Soul family, CJ Bossed Up had let me know about. I feel like someone close to me isn't even human. It's so weird we're talking about this. They lack all basic human emotions except anger. And I let CJ know absolutely those fake humans that be around us don't compliment us and don't show love, only anger from hate because they see we the cosmo beings that uplift this multiverse. I know this too well, and they're spy bot drones like the spy birds too. And CJ had let me know saying it's so messed up, but I agree they're like the devil in disguise. The oppressors do the most to the point they have you use terms bro due to the madness they created that will soon be their downfall. These sun rays gonna burn these demon oppressors up. And CJ bossed up had asked me any advice on how to deal with these demons because I'm having such a hard time. I know you have one in your house too, right? Question mark. And I let CJ know, CJ bossed up know if you're around demonic beings in person, use your anger they put on you and channel it out in a verbal assault to get your soulful ancestors and soul team on them. That way you don't got to worry about legal issues from getting physical on them for messing with you. That's one way. And CJ bossed up and said, I haven't been physical at all, but I do definitely channel the spirit of my grandmother a lot, right? I'm going to talk to CJ bossed up about this whole deceased thing. Like, when we soul beings pass on to the next lifetime, we only crystallize and transcend. We don't be deceased. But back to the topic. CJ says I can feel her influence in my best friends, right? So I let CJ bossed up know. So I see. So you can call on your Cosmo grandmother to come to you and be there for anything I will, right? And CJ bossed up said, I believe both all my family is pushing me. What if they don't stop their attacks? And I was asking her, so you're saying your family's on your mom and dad's side are spiritually attacked or they're spiritually attacking you? And CJ bossed up and let me know. She says, no, they're like backing me up spiritually to fight these demonic people. So we get to the bread and butter of this, right? CJ bossed up. She said, I feel like one particular person very close to me is like an empty, soulless being. But how do I help them come back from this? And I let her know straight up. For one, a person that's an empty, soulless being, an empty, soulless vessel, unfortunately, it's no way to change an empty seed person who fits in the matrix to comprehend these otherworldly, soulful individuals. I learned this from experience. Doesn't matter if they look human or not. So like CJ Bostop said, I'm so lost like what to do anymore. They're so violent and angry. It feels like no one is in there anymore, and like the only emotion usually is extreme anger or super happy, but only very brief. But they just look empty and soulless and always negative or angry, right? So I let CJ Bostop know I know what you mean. It's like they're a zombie in the apocalypse and they'll be happy with their NPC zombie friends. But around you, CJ Bossed Up. CJ Bossed Up is the spiritual being, and this soulless, empty vessel individual that CJ Bossed Up has known for over so many years, they're like zombie like to her. And for those people that you mentioned are haters that hate on us spiritual soul beings, the person who look empty and soulless are at war with themselves. So like CJ bossed up, she let me know, well, they isolate, but like fake come to life around certain people. And CJ bossed up says, I live with this person, and it's like they're a completely different person. They're like a zombie here. And CJ bossed up has says, I have known this person for 20 years. They used to be different. It's like something is wearing his skin. So I let CJ bossed up know. So they only connect with soulless beings being all happy and shit. But then when not around these soulless beings, they be zombie like around spiritual people like yourself. So this proved the person you're living with is not a real human and really a zombie NPC bot, or could be a reptilian, a draconian, a gang stalker, a spy bot drone, a monitoring spirit, the evil eye demons. That's what CJ Bossed Up was dealing with. So CJ Bossed Up, she asked me this question: what took over him though? Like, I kept telling everyone I'm so confused, and it's like he's gone, but I can't explain it. But he's here physically. So I let CJ Bossed Up know this, right? He was an Agent Smith soulless being holding you back that never was your spiritual family kinfolk, even if he looked human like you and can't relate to you on these spiritual topics nor supports your social media. So these reptilian slave owners switch out spiritual beings' families to make sure spiritual beings don't be physically around other spiritual beings. So this is the things I was letting CJ Bossed Up know. Like, it happens a lot, man. So like, as you always reading, like, I'm a talk Tri Vision, and I'm a talk Apache the Fox on this topic, because this stuff is out of hand with these NPC zombies. Like with spirituality, this just shows you this spirituality stuff is not all love and light, because we got soulless beings that come from this demon underworld realm who operate with these demon slave owner oppressors and subliminally support these demon slave owner oppressors behind the scenes. And they could be your everyday people you see in person. They don't even gotta be famous, because CJ Bossed Up, she says she known this guy for over 20 years, and she lives with him, and he's like a zombie when he's around her, because she's the spiritual being that's beyond comprehension, and she don't fit in this zombie NPC soulless vibrational organic portal matrix, but he does. So this guy that she known for over 20 years, when he's around his zombie NPC organic portal friends or Agent Smith demons, like, he's all happy all of a sudden. Happy in the matrix, like talking about senseless things that's not spiritual. So it's like, these NPC zombies, man, this is all the doings of the demon realm alien slave owners, oppressors, and Apache the Fox and Tri-Vision, and all of my spiritual family that I connect with on my social media that I never met in person at all. They can really touch up on this on a deeper level, because I can tell you this: a lot of this guy that CJ Bossed Up had let me know who he was. When she says, like, it feels like no one is in there anymore, it's like the only emotion they have is like extreme anger or super happy when they're around their NPC bot friends that are not real humans. Because look, man, a lot of these individuals that look human, but they have like a glossy look in their skin, and their necks is shaped like a reptilian. Like their whole skin will literally look like it's slimy, man. Like, this shit is ridiculous. And I can tell you this: a lot of these zombie NPCs that look human, how to tell if they're not a real human? They hate the sun, man. I've seen a bunch of melanated women. I've seen melanated women in Louisiana. I seen melanated women in Louisiana just hate the sun, man. And the sun's supposed to be like a power source for a melanated person. But those melanated women in Louisiana, especially in Northeast Louisiana, like in the Monroe regions and all that, and Sterlingtons and all that, man, like especially all the way from the dark skins to the light skins, man, like, their skin will like look like reptilian, and it will be looking slimy, and they cannot handle the sun at all. It's like they're vampires disguised as melanated humans. So I get what CJ Bossed Up is talking about. So this guy that she known for over 20 years, that's close to her, is just a soulless empty seed vessel that's not a real human. If he was to stand into the sun, he's going to get burnt by the sun rays, because he's a soulless vibrational being. So this is something that I let CJ Bossed Up know, and anybody else who go through these situations. of, knowing somebody for like over 20 years, whether it was in adulthood or not adulthood. You feel me? So this spiritual warfare stuff is very, very wild with us spiritual beings, because a lot of us spiritual beings, we can go to a grocery store and it's gonna be a zombie NPC employee and a zombie NPC demon manager at that grocery store that operate. Spiritual people will never be at organizations. Keep this in mind, soul family.